So I want to show you a few moves that you can do to help your sciatica. So sciatica is a very broad condition, and it can affect you short term or long term, and this is not something, I'm not medically trained. I'm a yoga teacher and I know a little bit about what can help you and what can't. So with anything, when you're doing that causes additional pain, please stop. You want to just look after your body. So these stretches are aimed at helping you nice and slowly. Any pain that's incurred, please stop, and it's always worth speaking to your doctor about if it's recommended that you do these exercises at all. So I want you to take a chair and come seated. So come forwards on the chair, so you're more on the edge of the chair with your feet flat to the floor. So you can see I've got a nice square positioning with my legs. And I want you to bring the hands behind the back. So resting the hands in the back, and we're going to arch the back. So when we do this, I don't want you to do it and just fling the chest forward. I want you to look at lengthening through the front of the body as we curve through the back. So we're going to press the hands into the back. Try and draw the shoulder blades a little bit towards one another. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, start to lift the chest. So start to lift the chest up towards the ceiling. So we've got this lengthening occurring as we lift up. Press the heel of the hands into the back. So not overarching here. So as we lift, we don't want to really release forward. We want to pull the ribs in, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Now, just do what you can here. Try and remember to keep breathing. Another few breaths. Another breath here. And then release. So just release, let the back lengthen. So we don't want to collapse. We want to keep a nice long spine. So I hope you can see that. So we have natural curves in our back. Some of us will pronounce these more. So try and let the sit bones really rest heavily into the chair. So we're sitting nice and straight. So from here, we're going to take the hands down the legs. So again, I don't want you to round the back. I want you to keep a nice long spine as you start to lean forward. So start to lean forward and slide the hands down the legs. Now it might be that you don't get very far. It might be that you just come here, and that's okay. So pause at your maximum. Take another breath in. Think about lengthening that spine a bit more, and then coming down a little bit deeper if you can. Okay, so if you're quite flexible, you might be able to come all the way down. But if this starts to happen, you're not going to achieve much. You want to keep the back nice and long. So just a couple of times like that, really slowly moving down. So if you wanted to pause the video and just work on this in your own time, sliding the hands up and down the legs, and you'll notice that your tummy will need to engage a little bit here to stop this rounding. So it's your tummy muscles that are going to help you keep that back nice and straight. Okay, right, so just sit, close the eyes, just rest for a moment. Take a few deeper breaths. Okay, we're then going to work on a hamstring stretch. So I'm doing these stretches in the chair so they're more accessible to you. There's many hamstring stretches we can do to help you here, but we're going to work to start within the chair. So I want you to straighten the leg. Now the toes aren't relaxed here. You want to flex the foot so you've got a nice active leg. And then again, hands onto the thighs and just start to lean forwards. And you'll quickly feel the stretch in the back of the leg. Okay, so leaning forwards with a nice straight spine again. And remember, you can always pause here. I'm sure this is going to be uncomfortable for you, so just breathe into it. Try and relax. And maybe see if you can go a little bit deeper. So we're continuing to deepen here as we feel that lovely stretch, or not so lovely, depending on how you feel, as we fold over the leg. So again, let's hold it for another 5 to 10 breaths. Give me a nice long spine. And then we'll come back up. Okay, so nice and easy as we come back up, slide the leg in. Just pause for a moment. You probably feel some differences in the legs. And we'll do the same on the other side. So straightening this leg. So I'm moving away from you so it's on the outside. And again, we don't want to round down. So the aim is not how low you can go. It's about the stretch. So it might be that you're here. Might be even that you're here. As long as you can feel it in the back of the leg. And let's just close the eyes and breathe. Maybe keeping the eyes open for balance if you need to. As you fold over that leg. Okay, keep going. Keep the shoulders relaxed, the neck long, the spine long. Remembering you can go deeper into this if it feels okay, but one of the key things is to really listen to your body. And when you start to feel the rounding in the back, just start to straighten up because the muscles will fatigue as well. Keep breathing. So you can go as low as you want to, as low as you can, so you can feel this length. And then let's come up. Okay, and just sit again and just rest. Okay, we are in a moment going to do another version of this pigeon stretch on the floor. But if you're not able to do that, this may be a way of making it more accessible to you. Similarly, you might find the floor stretch easier. We're all different. So if you can, we're going to pick up the foot and cross the ankle over the thigh. So I'll just show you that front on. So we're going to pick up one leg and bring the ankle over the thigh. So this foot is flexed. The other heel is still underneath the knee. And you're going to just sit here. Okay, now to increase it, you can again start to lean forward, but see how that goes for you. Keep this foot flexed. Not resting on that leg. I should take my hand away really. We don't want to put pressure on the knee and cause problems there. And you should feel this very much in this outer hip. So we're just stretching off the area. So you stay upright or you can lean forwards. And again, let's hold this for 5 to 10 breaths. And then release. Okay, coming on to the other side. Picking up the leg, and it may be that this isn't accessible to you depending on your level of pain and flexibility. So just, there will be in a moment something on the floor that you can work with as well. So you can fast forward to that point if you need to. So any of these stretches you can repeat. Do as many times as you feel you can. And release. We're going to take it into a twist. So feet on the floor, so coming You've slid back, come back to the edge. We're going to bring one hand, the right hand, to the outside of the left leg, the left hand to the hip, or you could hold on to the chair. And what I don't want is for the legs to move. So keep the feet pressing down into the floor. Try and sort of wiggle up so you're nice and long, and then begin to turn to the left. So you're feeling a twist and a spiral in the spine. Again, 5 to 10 breaths here. And then come back to the centre. Pause. And then go to the other side. So chair or the hip. It's quite nice to hold on to the chair. And you use the hand against the leg, the hand onto the chair or hip, to draw you round. Remember, the legs aren't coming with you, so you want to keep the hips stable and the legs in exactly the same position as we twist through the spine. Gaze can stay forward, or you can turn the head. So just decide how that feels for you. Keep the head above the heart. Coming all the way back to the centre. Pause, take a breath. And then we're going to stand up and move the chair away and come down onto the floor. So, it doesn't matter if you don't have a mat, just work with what you have, carpet, anything like that, as long as you can be comfortable. Use the chair to help you down to the floor if you need to. And then gently ease onto your back. So easing onto the back, pick up the one knee and just hold it in towards you. So just hug the knee in towards the chest, breathing. And you can pull the knee a bit closer in towards you as you start to feel release. So I don't want you actually on the knee, the hands are on the shins. Okay, so 5 to 10 breaths here. And I'm kind of sticking with 5 breaths at the moment, but it might be that you hold it for longer. So you can pause the video and just work with this, and I may be repeating a couple of times, so just hugging that knee in, and as you feel the release, start to just draw in a bit more, but don't force anything here. Try and relax as much as possible into the hips, into the pelvis, letting the back be heavy on the floor. Okay, and then release. Just bring the foot down to the floor, stay with the back on the floor, and then we're going to repeat a very similar movement. Now, if you can't reach for the back of the thigh here or the shin as we were here, you can use a towel, a folded up towel or a blanket, something to pull against. A dressing gown belt would work, but that might dig a little bit into your leg. So you can fold up anything and draw it under the leg, over the leg for the previous exercise and this next one. So I'm going to hold on to the back of my thigh, but if you can't do that, just a small hand towel held will holding on each end, will do the same thing. So hugging the knee in, and then we'll take a breath in, and on the breath out, just start to straighten the leg, pressing up through the heel. Okay, and if the leg doesn't come straight, that's absolutely okay. Just do what you can. Drawing the leg in and beginning to lengthen it. Well done. Nice and slowly, taking your time here. Well done. And it's important to remember that I want you to keep the spine in its neutral position. Let's swap over, bring the foot back to the floor. Again, just pause and lift the other leg. So we don't want to unnaturally flatten the back into the floor. Keep the spine natural and neutral with its natural curves. You want the body to respond as naturally as possible to this. So you'll notice that one side is probably going to feel quite different to the other, particularly if the sciatica you have is on one side of the body. Let's do that a couple more times. Good, how are we doing? Okay. Well done. And bring the foot back down. So similar stretch that we did on the chair is to cross an ankle over the thigh. So it's the same thing as we did before, crossing the ankle over the thigh. Now you could, if you wanted to, press the hand into the thigh of the bent leg to increase the stretch of it, or you just stay with this. To really increase the stretch a lot, we lift the foot off the floor. Again, you can't reach behind the thigh. You take a folded up towel and you wrap it and hold it either side so that you can create the same effect. You know, this is going to be a lot stronger. So just be careful. Keep the top foot, this foot that I'm wiggling now, flexed. So you keep that foot flexed to protect the knee. A couple more breaths. Okay, let's release. So undo the legs, take it to the other side. So we stay in this initial position. You can press the hand into the leg a little bit, open up the hip, but not forcing anything, just a gentle opening, listening to your body all the time. And if you want more, again, we reach for the back of the thigh, and that is not going to be available to everyone. So you take that folded up towel, wrap it behind and hold on to the leg. I'll just demonstrate actually with something so that you get the idea of what I mean. So anything, tea towel, towel, anything's going to work that you can wrap around the back of the leg and pull in. Okay, so pulling in here. But watch that you don't bring too much pressure onto the shoulders or neck here. Try and keep them nice and relaxed. So a couple more breaths. And then let's release. Okay. So if you can and it feels okay, you can just, what I call windscreen wipe the knees from side to side a few times. Okay. We're going to roll onto our tummy now. So flipping over, I'm going to come around this way so you can see me onto your tummy. So lowering down onto your tummy, and I want you to bring the elbows underneath the shoulders. So we're not further forward, the elbows are directly under the shoulders, and just check by bringing the hands to the opposite elbows, and that gives you a vague indication that you're in the right position. Okay, so from here you can allow yourself just to collapse for a moment, and we're going to work from this position to lift up. So this is what we call our dolphin. So we're going to dolphin plank. So we're going to press the hands into the floor and start to lift the chest away from the floor, and you'll begin to feel the lower back activating. So try and avoid the shoulders being around the ears. Pull the shoulders down, really pressing into the hands, maybe lifting the tummy a little bit so you feel all the work occurring across the lower back. Hold it here and then release. And again, take a breath in, Breathe out, hold up. Just for about 5 seconds or so, release down. And again, lifting up, pressing up. Have the sensation that you're pulling the chest in between the arms. Arms are really active here. Lower down, lifting up. So I want you to do this 5 to 10 times. We'll just stick to 5 for today. As you progress, working 5 to 10 times here on this. Good. And release. Make a pillow with the hands, and if it's comfortable for you, just lie down here. Let the hips wiggle from side to side. You could even pick up the feet and rock, but if twisting in any way like this causes any acute pain, please stop. So twisting may not be the right thing for you, and that goes the same for the twist we did in the chair. Lifting up, so you might need to roll onto your side. You may well be able to just lift. And then come to seated. If cross leg doesn't work for you, you can just sit with the legs out. You can return to your chair, just sitting nice and tall. Taking a couple of breaths. So I hope you found that useful. You can repeat the exercises a couple of times each. You can run through the video a couple of times in order if that makes it easier for you. And I hope you feel better soon. Namaste. Thank you.